Behold, the average house cat, Peanut. A remarkable and elegant creature once worshipped as a deity figure during ancient Egyptian times, now mankind's greatest companion besides dogs. But what makes this cat so special from the others? Join me, Michael of Random, as we venture and discover the lifestyle of our little feline friend. Peanut was born on Friday, the 22nd of November 2019, and was considered the runt of the litter. He was adopted and taken into the Random family by Michael of Random's mother on Tuesday, the 21st of January 2020. After the neighbour's cat, and once very good friend of Michael, Ramsay, moved away to Glasgow in Scotland at the end of the year after Christmas 2019, the Random family thought of adopting their very own cat, after having Ramsay come by and by over to the house. Even though he may not have been family, he was a very good friend of ours. Ramsay had left such an impact on the family, the Random family decided to adopt a cat of their own for them to raise and take care of. And so, the 9-week-old kitten, now named Peanut after the small mark on his chest, was adopted, just 2 months before the COVID-19 lockdown. During that time, Peanut has begun to grow more and more into a considerably big cat, but still small nonetheless. At first, Peanut was a rather jittery and playful little kitten, quite cheeky in some areas, but he was overall very sweet and affectionate. He was loved by everyone in the family. As time passed, Peanut had developed into a young teenage cat, venturing the outdoors from garden to garden. He's not the smartest cat at times, but he is filled with a lot of curiosity. This year will mark the 1-year anniversary of when Peanut was adopted by the Random family. And here we have Peanut in his natural habitat, the Random house of 123 Street, roaming around his territory. He doesn't seem too bothered by the camera, and he seems more focused on his toys. For example, that small toy mouse of his. He's a very playful little kitty, isn't he? Like most young kittens, he's always so full of energy. Peanut enjoys playing with a lot of other toys, such as balls, cat teasers, and most of all, elastic bands? However, there is one toy in particular being his absolute favourite. This toy giraffe. Seriously, he's mad about this giraffe. So much that he even sleeps with it sometimes. Other activities that Peanut often likes to do around the house is follow his owners around wanting something. Especially when they're quite busy with something, like they just got back from shopping at the supermarket and begin sourcing out the fridge. From Peanut's point of view, he thinks he's trying to be helpful, when really, he's actually just getting in the way of things. Speaking of in the way of things, one other thing he does in particular is leaping up to the TV. Sometimes he likes to watch people play video games, or movies, right up close to the screen, basically preventing anyone from seeing anything. Sometimes he can display quite naughty behaviour, like here. He's leaping on the kitchen counter. I know it may not seem like much, but Peanut really isn't allowed on the counter, as that's where most people prepare their food. Plus, he'll get hairs all over the place. Other naughty things that Peanut often does is sleep on his owner's beds. Again, Peanut isn't allowed to sleep on any of his owner's beds, but I in particular allow him to sleep on mine, as I don't really mind, unlike the rest of the Random family. He even hides in the corner of his mummy's bedroom, and surprisingly, the laundry bin is also one of his many hiding spots. He'll even sleep in there too. Another bizarre trait of his is that he likes to watch the Random family eat their dinner. Apparently, he really likes being around people whenever they're eating. He probably thinks that he himself is a people as well, to the point where he even tries to sit at the table. Like this! And of course, there are times when Peanut wishes to be out and about in the garden. Here he sat patiently, waiting for me to open the door and let him go outside. Ever since he's first been exposed to the great outdoors, he's been wanting to go outside ever since, even if the weather wasn't that great. He doesn't care, he just wants to go out. At first, he had to be kept on a leash, of course, as he was still quite young, even in cat years. But over time, he was allowed to freely roam around the garden, and became quite obsessed with the outdoor area. And here he is, exploring the back garden. Even to this day, he's still fascinated by the outside world. The world outside the house. Sometimes, Peanut will even go as far as to become territorial over the garden, as you can see right here. Like most cats, they're always quite defensive over their homes, watching and observing for any intruders coming their way. The way Peanut is positioning himself, he almost looks like a loaf of bread. Now Peanut has the high ground, as he watches from on top of the garden shed and the neighbour's garden shed for any intruders. And yes, that was indeed a Star Wars reference. But in all seriousness, back then Peanut wasn't the best at standing up for himself against any of the other cats in the neighbourhood. But now that he's all grown up, he's finally started to defend for himself. And what happens when it's snowing outside? Well, he was rather confused at first. He had been so used to the green scenery outside, but never has he been used to the scenery changing from green to white. Being the curious little creature he is, he's decided to take a look. And so far, I think he's gotten used to it. After being outside for a while, Peanut would then hop onto the windowsill and just sit there. This is clearly a sign that he's finished being outdoors and ready to come in. Especially when it's just started raining. Poor cat, now he's all soaked. Sometimes he would come to the door and meow his head off, asking to be let in that way. After being let indoors, Peanut's feeling as if he would like a treat.
Come on, come on. What is it you want? What is it you want? Ooh. Could it be this? Can we get this? Oh, I think so.
One of the treats that Peanut really loves in particular are these cat salami sticks.
Little stick. No, little sticks. Where do the little sticks go?
The salami sticks are broken into small little chunks, because if he was given the whole thing, he would inhale it in an instant.
Good boy. Another one. Oh. Yeah, it's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy.
Another one of his favourite treats are these cat yogurt sticks, which he has in tiny bowls. The Licky Licks.
Wait.
Just look at how excited he is. He already can't wait to dig into another treat.
Hold on.
Oh yes, I believe someone's going to be a very happy kitty after this. And finally, the Licky Lick is done and ready to eat. Or lick, in this case. Now, there are also moments where Peanut will have to work for his treat. Like here, where he needs to reach up to it and grab it.
Try again. Oh, look, what's here? It's here.
Peanut, I love you. whenever someone were about to change his food bowl as well, he'll start to follow that person to where all the cat food is as well. Again, he just can't wait to start stuffing his face. And when he finally gets his food, well, let's just say that someone's a very happy kitty. Eventually, after a long day, Peanut would then decide to lay down and relax for a bit, and perhaps crash on the couch and then fall asleep. Or maybe lay inside or on top of his cat tower. Either way, he seems pretty relaxed. Or, Peanut will either go up to the windowsill and watch what's going on outside the front garden, just to be sure there still aren't any intruders. Of course, there will be times where Peanut just wants a cuddle and attention, being the young little kitten he still is at heart. And sometimes, there are times where he just wants to be left alone.
Why did you do that?
Even if he does scratch or bite me, I still can't stay mad at him. But it's kinda his fault for being so cute.
Bad! Aww. It's okay, not everyone's clever, Peanut.
And sometimes, Peanut will then stop to give himself a good clean. This is obviously natural cat behaviour, seeing how cats are very hygienic animals and like to be kept clean. Now we're going to learn a little bit about how cats behave by observing Peanut based on what we've seen so far. First off, meowing. Meowing is basically the form of cat language.
Yeah?
Cats rarely meow at each other. It was developed almost exclusively for humans. Generally, when Peanut meows, it often means he wants something like food, attention, or access to a room. It can also signify illness or loneliness.
Is that a yes?
And sometimes, Peanut will meow constantly at either the middle of the night or 9 o'clock in the morning when everyone is just waking up. Next is purring. Probably the most common cat sound, often made when cats are happy and content, like when he's being petted here. Up next is trilling. A high-pitched chirp-like noise made as a greeting to other cats or people. It's always a positive noise, made when cats are either excited or want attention. Like with Peanut, when he gets very excited over his toy giraffe. As for when cats are angry, yes, there's the classic hissing and growling and the occasional biting and scratching. But there's also another trait that cats do when they're mad. Watch the movement of Peanut's tail. Sometimes, cats don't have to use noises to express how they feel. When a cat's tail is slowly swishing from left to right, this is basically telling us that they're feeling a little mildly annoyed. It's a good idea to give Peanut a little bit of space if you see this happening, as it could quickly transform into the angry low flick. Looking back at our little feline companion throughout the past 2 years, I'm delighted to say that I don't think we could make it through 2020 without him, especially with the lockdown that happened in March. Most of all, the rest of the random family, including me, was quite lucky to have adopted him. Living with Peanut has made such a change to our usual lifestyle, as back then, we probably weren't sure of getting a pet. But after our old friend Ramsey, we noticed a gap in our lives as if something was missing. And seeing how much we used to love and take care of Ramsey, why not have a cat of our own to love and take care of as well, as if it were part of the family? And besides, it's best to adopt a cat rather than shop for one. Simply put, Peanut truly is a delight to have around. I know it may not seem like much to everyone else, but to us, it's quite a lot. And I think it's safe to say that we're happy that Peanut is part of our family. Not just as a cat, but to me, as a friend. And I think Peanut is happy living with us as well, and continues spending the rest of his life with the Random family, even during the holidays, like Christmas.
Cat. Christmas cat. The Christmas cat. As you can see, he really likes his Nad. He has the expression of a cat that loves his hat. This is the cat in the hat. You are the cat in the hat.